Well, hello friends, glad you stopped by to visit my site. Hey, just wanted to share my story with you, and I'm going to start all the way back in my childhood and go on through up until where I'm at right today. It'll be brief because I don't want to bore you to death or anything. I'm not much different than what you are as far as your story goes, but I'll share mine with you here in just a few minutes. So just drop on back and I'll tell you the rest of the story. Well, hey, glad you stopped back. Hey, just wanted to start out and give you a little bit about my early beginnings. Like most kids, when I was a youth, I played a lot of baseball, a lot of football, a lot of basketball, played a lot of sports. Baseball was my real passion. I always had dreams someday of being in the major leagues. But, when I got into high school, I still played high school ball, but things started to change. I got one of those cars and back then. You know how life changes once you get a car. Well, I also needed to put gas in the car, so then I had to go find a job. And because of that job, it led me in a whole new direction. Once you start earning a little bit of income, a little bit of money, things change. I still had that passion, that I wanted to play ball, but all I did basically after I got out of high school, I played a little bit in college, but then I just basically went into coaching. But, like everybody else when you're in high school, you get a lot of peer pressure. I took college prep courses, things like that, but book learning, studying, things like that on the high school level just wasn't meant for me. Wasn't my cup of tea. However, when I did go on into college, I studied architectural engineering. That was my real passion because I did like working with my hands, and I was trying to develop a career in the building industry. And I love designing things. I love thinking things out and putting them on paper and then actually building them. So I pursued architectural engineering, and I did that for about 12 years. And during that time, the gentleman that I worked with in the architectural engineering part of it, he introduced me to personal development. Did a few classes, things like that. I actually went to some Dale Carnegie courses. I actually went to Brian Tracy and Jim Rohn. Did those courses, Zig Ziglar. Still do that today with a passion. Can't get enough of that stuff. Over the years, even with some health issues, things like that, that's the thing that's actually kept me on the positive note and kept me going. I could always rely on that personal development, that information that I was learning and studying at the time carried me through some tough times. Basically, when I got out of the architectural engineering business, I pursued a different field altogether. I went into insurance, and I went into that business basically because the construction industry back in the 80s was on a tough time, just like we are right now. Things were looking bad. I had to make a decision. I didn't want to relocate my family to a big city. I'm from a small town. To stay around here, I had to switch fields altogether. So I went in the insurance business and took care of about a 4-county area here in Ohio for a company, and ended up being one of their top salespeople in that whole 8-state area that they took care of. I really enjoyed it. The biggest thing I liked about the insurance business is I found out that I really enjoyed helping people. I met with a lot of people, and because of my position with the insurance company, I had to build a team of insurance agents, so I enjoyed working with them as well. On the same level, I loved teaching and coaching them. And all the time I kept pursuing my passion, which was the construction industry, because I still started investing in properties, things like that. Still owned some real estate and was doing that. And during that personal development time, one of the books that totally influenced and changed my life totally all the way around was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I read that book, and when I started studying that cash flow quadrant, I started realizing that I had things maybe a little bit, my thinking wasn't quite right. I needed basically to work in something where I could actually get some freedom. I loved that sales end of it, but I needed that time freedom. I wasn't a very good person to take orders from anybody, so I needed to be my own boss, and I needed to have the freedom to choose. And I was disciplined enough that I could motivate myself. So what I did is I actually pursued my passion from my childhood on, and that was coaching. So I bought a family entertainment center, and I actually had indoor batting cages, roller hockey, and we played a lot of sports in there. We did basketball and everything else. We had a miniature golf course, and I pursued that for about 12, 13, 14 years. Things were looking good, and then unfortunately the economy went south again. The only difference was I had all my money invested in that business, and unfortunately I had to shut it down and had to liquidate. And I wasn't able to recover my funds that I had in there, so I basically started over. And in doing so, it was the teachings of Rich Dad, Poor Dad that actually got me into the network marketing. And Robert Kiyosaki teaches you that to be self-employed, you're working basically 8 to faint. I mean, you just start out, you're just constantly under pressure. It's all on you. And if you want to really get ahead and you want to become wealthy, you need to actually pursue either a business or you want to invest. And basically, the network marketing industry is a business. You can actually be a business owner. You have a low startup cost. You have one of the biggest ingredients there is to time freedom, and that's residual income, and you can leverage your income. So that's what brought me into the network marketing industry, and I still believe that you need to have value in your product. So what I do is, when I came over into the network marketing industry, I made sure that I had a product that had value. And speaking about network marketing, I want to share with you what I learned from the Harvard Business School. The Harvard Business School says that when you're looking and evaluating a company and you're wanting to get in business, you want to make sure that there's a few things that you want to look for. You want to make sure, number one, that the company's solid. You want to make sure it's not a company that's just a startup. It's been here a little bit. It's been around a while. You want to make sure that their foundation's firm. You want to make sure they're not going to be here today and gone tomorrow. And basically, that's what I did. And when I was looking, I wanted to make sure, and I found a company that definitely was solid, had a solid foundation. And you want to make sure the products are marketable. It's not going to do you any good to have a product that's either obsolete or that nobody's heard of and nobody can use. You want to make sure it's something of value. You want to make sure it's a product that people can use and they can use it every day. And you also want to be able to market it. You want to make sure that there's not any other way that they can get it out there, because you want to eliminate the competition. You don't have any competition, or the competition is very lean. And you also want to make sure you got leverage. You want to make sure that something that's 100% your business, and it's not something that you're building and that you're going to lose it in the end. You want to make sure that it's 100% willable. You want to make sure that you can pass it on to not only to your family but to generations to come. Pass it on down to your grandkids, and make sure that it's a good, solid company. So basically, if you like what you've heard here today, and you want to talk to me further about partnering up and being with me and my team, just go ahead and give me a call. I'll have a little link here at the very end where you can give me a call by the telephone, or you can send me an email, either one. I'm not somebody that does anything high pressure. I've never been a high pressure type salesperson. I've always been willing to share it with you. If it's something you like, you can see a value in it for yourself, and you think that, hey, this could help me and my family, I'd love to try this, I'd love to do it, just give me a call. We'll share a cup of coffee, and I'll let you make the decision. You choose whether or not it's something that would be a fit for you as well. So again, this is Bill Rogers, and it's been great sharing my little bit of story here with you. Tried to make it as brief as I could. In closing, I just wanted to thank you for sharing this time we had here together, and wanted you to think about this as you go on and live life. Dream as if you will live forever, but live as if you will die tomorrow. And my friends, remember that someday is today.